Thank you. Thank you, guys. Uh, Interesting or not, I don't know. We will see. But at least it's a long journey. So, me, I'm Aslam. I'm heading a team in six as a web access management team head, and would like to share a couple of experiences which I have in last few years to modernize our CIM. We have a CIM and IAM, and when you merge these two things, or you want to segregate it, keep it separate, then you need to think a lot of things. So let's see. Being a very complex environment in the organization, I think you need to. This is the time actually to change things, and the world of AI, it's very important that you have to review what exactly you are running and what you would like to do in future. So there are so lot of drivers which actually encouraged us to move or to make futuristic solution. There were some drivers. We were running a product. We are still running a product. It's not yet removed. So it's very old and it's siloed because the platforms are. In a big company, you have a lot of different type of applications and all has the different requirements, and if you have multiple business units, then it all comes together. One disclaimer: I'm not promoting any product. This is not a product advertisement. It's just an experience what our organization is facing and faced in past also, and what we are trying to do. Customer experience was a huge problem because everybody has their own silos in our organization, every business unit. And then security, of course, in the world of AI, it's very important. We were trapped in a huge complex environment, and it's regulatory requirements increasing, operational overheads increasing, and different new requirements from the business units for different applications, modern applications. So you need to think about this. So most important thing was business was mindset was changed from the business side. So business first mindset instead of IT first mindset. Now, earlier it was you build the environment infrastructure, and then business was using it, legacy. Now business drives you. So the mindset need to be changed, and it happened. So then we have to decide what do we do with internal workforce identity and access management, and for CIM, customer identity and access management. So what you should do, you can get these informations from all the vendors. This is very common information. I'm not going into more details. Always avoid big bang. If you would like to migrate something, do not do in a all together. Just go step by step. Always remember, just go step by step. Foundation first. Please create your foundation. Analyze what you have to do. Large scale migrations always fail. We faced it. We failed it 2 times, twice in last few years, and that's why we said, okay, going into a huge migration approach, not a good thing. Very important is nowadays a lot of products are in the market. So you should think about, should we really build yourself? We tried to build, we started building our own product, CIM product. And you have to think, are you really sure you would like to build it? Because you have to manage it, you have to maintain it, right? So try to think if you can buy some product, because in the market nowadays, a lot of products are there which can fulfill all your requirements, right? So it will reduce the long-term costs as well. Quickly go to the pitfalls, what we faced. We were not able to recognize all our requirements because a lot of our business units were not aligned, or they were doing something themselves. So they were running the CIM products or IAM products themselves. So alignment is very important, and you can miss a lot of requirements. So it's very important that collect all the requirements, plan properly, talk to the people in your business unit. This is very important. Failure it's a very common platform where you can fail if you don't collect the requirement. You build something and then you realize, oh, this product or this functionality is not there and you need it, or business can come tomorrow, right, for new functionalities. That's why you need to think about it a bit future as well. Analyze your data, clean up your data if possible. Complexity, try to reduce complexity. In our case, there were a lot of custom configurations, for CIAM part, basically. So every application requires in different ways how to connect. I want a different flow of authentication, for example, or coarse grain or fine grain authorization mixed together, or applications in a different way, very old applications, new applications, all merged. Some are requiring OpenID Connect directly, for example, and some require SAML. So how you can merge all these things together. But keep in mind, reduce complexity. I will explain you in later slide. Our environment a little bit complex, and we were not only CIAM, managing CIAM, but also IAM, CIAM, and IAM, CIAM mixed. I'm talking about the workforce alignment, users of the company organization, and different applications requirements. Um, it was a little bit complex, so you have to define the boundaries where your IAM should start, where your CIAM should start. Do you really want to merge these two things? Because IAM and CIAM, normally there are a lot of products which nowadays today provides this functionality together, but do you really want to merge it? There are some regulations, compliance regulations in the market for certain areas, FINMA regulations, for example, PCI regulations. Do you really want to merge those things? If yes, then you should go ahead with that. If no, then you have to think about how to segregate it, but still overlap few things, because your internal users, internal workforce users, may also have access to the external applications. This is also very common practice. They are business users as well, and as an employee. So how will you deal with all the role management and access management? So overlapping, different type of multi-factor authentications, life cycle management of the products if you are using multiple products. So all these things, try to segregate, try to see what can be overlapped, what cannot be overlapped. So these are the standard things any product vendor will tell you, but you have to decide. And you can decide only based on what you are running. So synergies, both in IAM, CIAM, and maybe partner IAM as well. We have a lot of federations with different banks, different business partners, and they also would like to have a different ways of doing the authentications, right? They don't want to give users to us. Sometimes they want to give only for authorizations only. So how do you manage these things? Because this is very complex. Either you keep users, for federated users, or you don't keep federated users, right? So this is, you have to discuss this, you have to plan it, and you have to make, when you are selecting a product, how and what exactly is your requirement is. Now, where we started, our WAM, we call it web access management because we have mix of couple of things. Our product is not only CIAM, but also reverse proxy. My team is managing the reverse proxy as well. Reverse proxy means the relying party, the session management, the WAF on the reverse proxy itself, and then IDP and IDM, identity management and provider, where we do the authentication and authorization as well. And user management, of course, we provide the user management interfaces to the administrator. So it's a mix. There are two areas. One is called the reverse proxy side, and one is called the CIAM side, and IAM together. So we whole team is mixing, doing the things, and it's very, very old infrastructure. Some people are here, they know which I'm talking about. That's why I said in the beginning, I'm not advertising any product, but yes, it's a very, very old product. Very less enhancement has been done on that product. We have fragmented identity management landscape. Workforce IAM and CIAM was really overlapping. So you were never able to recognize who is our customer, internal workforce or the external. So this is an activity. These are the things we checked in the beginning, and it was a very tightly coupled. Some of the applications even coupled with the WAF or the authentication flows. So you have to identify that. Dependencies, you have to think about some key resources, because you have some people who are running the systems in the team, and they also have to think about or work on the migration or finding a new product, right? Evaluation of the whole infrastructure. So you have to think about how many people are you talking about. In our case, we were limited team, and we have to do everything within that team as a BAU, business as usual. And we also have everything on-prem. Infrastructure, complete infrastructure was on-prem, and now the cloud is also in the picture. SaaS. There are a lot of customers, a lot of vendors are providing SaaS solutions. So you have to think about all those aspects, and also future, what exactly you would like to go and where you would like to go. So what have we learned with our whole scenario, with our whole infrastructure? It was very complex. Migration was very complex, huge on-prem infrastructure. The team was fully overloaded with the business itself. And when the team is overloaded, they sometimes lose the motivation. So you have to be very cautious that you should not put the load on the team as a BAU, because they have to run the business, and business means we are talking about thousands of users, external customer users, and we are talking about hundreds of applications. Hundreds means I'm saying more than 1,000 applications which are customer facing. So 6 is a service provider which are providing a lot of applications to the banks, more than 1,000 applications. And we are talking about almost touching 100,000 users, customer users. So this is very important, that impact to the applications, impact to the customer should be minimized. And then you have a limited team who is managing all those things. So overloading the team, very bad idea. They will lose the motivation, they might leave. So you have to be very cautious. These are the things what we learned during the whole process. If you want to evaluate a product, do a POC. But POC we did as a BAU, within the team. Okay, we have one guy can be allocated to POC. Very bad idea. Allocate some money, allocate some cost, and the dedicated resource for that, because they will go busy with some issues, and then nothing will move. But if you are doing a POC, of course, you will involve some vendors and product vendors, and then vendor will chase you, and then you will not be moving forward. So this is very important. Allocate some resources, allocate dedicated resources, and allocate people for that. Vendors are always ready. If you talk to any vendor, they're always ready. They can tell you that, hey, we can do anything for you. We can even help you to configure things, but don't go with their pace, because they have to sell the product, but you have to implement as per your requirements. So this is very, very important. Go with the vendor, but not with their pace, with your pace, with your resources, with your cost. So just allocate a very small amount of cost for the POCs, and never just go only with one vendor. Try to compare different vendors, different products actually. And last but not least, migration coordination cost. Never underestimate migration cost, because if you have such a big infrastructure, so many users, these users might be impacted, and this is the thing which you should not do in world of external. When you are external facing customers and users, they don't want changes, they don't want to do anything. I'm running, my system is running, I'm able to log in, I'm able to access my application. Why are you changing? Why are you impacting not only the end user, but the organizations from there they belongs to? They will also come back to you and say, no, we don't want to, or we need 8 months, 6 months, 1 year for all those changes. So you have to go with their timeline. So it's very important that you don't underestimate these kind of things. What was our migration approach? It was not big bang, as I told you in the beginning. First, we started with the evaluation of the product foundation. We said, okay, what we have, let's analyze it, list it, all the flows, all the functionalities what we have, and then we will decide which product can fulfill all our requirements. Very important. None of the product in the market. CIAM is a field of growing at the moment, and heavily growing. There are a lot of products which are really stable. They provide a lot of functionalities, but a lot of new functionalities are being added on a daily basis. You can see within 2 to 3 months, you see there are new things. AI agents, agentic modules are being added. There are so many things, products, but do you need those things? Very important to understand. Evaluate first what you have, and where you would like to go in 5 years. You don't need to think about 10, 20 years. Just think about next 5 years, because if you have to start migration for something, it will take at least 2 to 3 years. Such a big environment, I'm talking about 2 to 3 years. And then if you say, oh, I can do it in 1 year, no, because 1 year, the things will change. Business will come with the different new requirements, and this is happening. Every day, I'm receiving a new type of request. So how to handle this? So have a product which is continuously growing, but it can fulfill all your requirements, what you have today, right? Ownership boundaries are very important, where the IAM belongs to, where CIAM belongs to. Don't mix it. That's my personal, from our organization suggestion, don't mix it. If you mix, then the management would be a little bit risky. So put the boundaries, because for workforce, you have some birthrights. Always in a company, when an employee joins, he has a birthright. But in the CIM area, you don't have a birthright. Some application specific, very specific roles are assigned, application related roles and entitlements are assigned. And this can be removed, this can be added, credentials, and these are the things which are managed. But in the world of workforce, you always have few things which are always all there. So you have to think about it. There are products in the market which can manage very nicely both together. Always involve domain experts who knows, architects who knows what they are doing, how they should be done, and how the things should be segregated. Is this really a requirement? Then in this next phase, what we try to do is migration. Decoupling of reverse proxy. Reverse proxy is a huge thing. It's not something that, okay, it's a part of the CIM. I saw a couple of presentations today as well. People provide gateway or PEP proxy and you can use it. Yes, that's one way. But vendor lock. Vendor locking is also another thing. Do you want that? Yes, sometimes yes, maybe the cost factor. But sometimes you might need to think about, okay, I have a better product for that area, and CIM, I have a better product. So you can segregate these two things as well. This is what we try to do. Customer identity stores, consolidate, fragmented, because there are a lot of, in our case, there were different, somebody is managing their business users and in Active Directory, someone in the LDAP, somewhere in their database. Try to segregate it, try to make one template for everyone. So all the users, how these external customer users can be stored. This is very important. One template, one store template it will help you. It will help you forever. I mean, for the migrations in future, for today's migrations, you can make it scheme interface, so everything will be aligned into one line, and you can create an API in front of it, maybe abstraction API in front of it, so everybody will be talking exactly in the same language, same way. So this, and always when you are evaluating a product, look for the APIs endpoints. They should have, because nowadays automation is very important. Without API, you will be really crying. And then you need a bigger team who will be doing manual things. So try to automate things. Very, very important. And then at the end, optimize things. Connect the events with SIEM. Almost all product vendors are providing to connect to Elastic or Elk or whatever, Splunk, or just use this for the observability. And old warm infrastructure, that was we decided to decommission old, but you cannot decommission something. You have to think about the cost also, because until you have built the whole infrastructure, you migrate not in one big bang, but slowly, and then you have to slowly migrate the decommissioning the other infrastructure. Until then, your cost is there. So you have to think about how you have to decommission and how long the cost will go. That's very, very important. Sometimes you say, okay, a 2 years project, and then after that, maybe you need to run a little bit longer. Maybe some business units, some customers are not ready for that, right? So governance model, build a governance model, and that will really help how to govern the internal workforce users and the external customers. Very important also. There is in some organizations, you can build one customer identity and access management, user administrator teams. In our case, it was fragmented. Every business unit has their own user management. So if you club together into one, that would help because they know what are their customers, what they are doing, what they need. And then you can build a single team which can help you. At the end, once we finished, our outcome was one platform. So we have one CIAM platform, which also overlaps wherever it is needed with the IAM. We have ticketing system, incidents, very clear ownership, because we try to build one user administration team so that all the tickets comes to the same team, although they are still part of different business units and they know their customers because there are contracts between different applications, different business units with different customers. So they know. And then decommissioning of the old infrastructure and increasing of the security at the end. Security is very important. AI world, now you have to think about the agentic AIs, how they can automate your task or even a user administrator's task, role management, governance, and reporting. You have to build a lot of reports. So please look for the products where you can generate different type of compliance reports. Yep, that was us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.